Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to the Halloween edition of Monday Night Raw for October 31st, 2016. The show opened up with Goldberg, and before he could pretty much get started, Paul Heyman came out. He says that Brock Lesnar does not enjoy the Goldberg chants, which was a much better reaction than the one we got last week. He gets in the ring and says that he has backup if Goldberg tries something funny. He says that his client wants Goldberg tonight and he doesn't want to wait to Survivor Series. Brock's music hits. Nobody comes out. Goldberg gets in Brock's face, or in Paul's face. He's like, I'm just an advocate. Don't hit me, please. I'm just an advocate. Rusev comes out. Somebody watches Going in Raw. Rusev comes out and says that Goldberg is not a superhero. He says that Goldberg no longer has the strength and explosion that he once has, and that he no longer has the heart to compete when he gets down. He says that he can sense fear in Goldberg, and you want to he does to people with fear? He crushes them. Rusev then punches Goldberg. And that turns into a jackhammer to Rusev and a spear to Paul Heyman. It's a pretty good opening. Luke Gallows versus Enzo, or Buzz Lightyear, whatever you want to call him, because he was dressed up as Buzz, in a trick-or-street fight. Anderson gets pied to the face by Enzo and then turns into a big boot from Cass. And then Gallows, with a pumpkin on his head, gets DDT'd for the win. Or DDG'd, as they called it. For the win is a DDT from top rope. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Yeah. Enzo picked up the win over Gallows in a trick-or-street fight. Very nice. TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick in a Cruiserweight title rematch. I didn't get to see part of this match. I saw the ending. TJ Perkins knocked Brian Kendrick out of the ring. He got up and then refused to get back in the ring and lost by by countout. So TJ Perkins wins, but he wins by countout and doesn't get the title. Mick comes out to talk about Chris Jericho, and he says that what he did last night disrespected the art of the sell. Owens and Jericho come out, and Owens says that he stole the show in last night's main event, even though it was in the middle of the show. Jericho says that he needs them that Mick needs them on Team Raw. And Mick says that Owens could have been a legend if he would have won alone without the help of Chris Jericho. And Mick says that Stephanie didn't want Chris Jericho on Team Raw after what happened at Hell in a Cell. She only wanted Kevin Owens. She wanted to suspend Chris Jericho on the spot, but Mick Foley had to change her mind. Mick also says, in addition to Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, the third member of Team Raw will be a guy he can trust. The guy, Roman Reigns. Roman says that he's partnered with SpongeBob SquarePants. And I forget what he called Chris Jericho. I don't remember. But it was something really stupid. And he said that he was going to dress up as a stupid idiot, but they ran out of Chris Jericho costumes. And Chris Jericho says, you know what I do to people that make fun of me on Halloween? And he's like, you know what I do to them? And he's like, oh, you thought I was going to put them on the list. Nobody deserves to get put on the list tonight. Nobody's going on the list. So no one goes on the list. Nobody goes on the list. And he says, I would be a much better United States champion than you would. And then if you would give me a shot tonight, I would take that title right off your hands. But you're probably way too beaten up from last night's Hell in a Cell match with Rusev. And Roman says, well, you're probably right. But I'd never turn down a chance to shut you up. And then Mick Foley makes it official. And the main event for Raw is Roman versus Chris Jericho for the United States Championship. And then, right after that, it sets up a Team Raw Battle Royal. I missed most of the eliminations. I don't know who all was in the match. But the final 5 were Cesaro eliminated Sheamus because Sheamus tried to eliminate Cesaro. And then Braun Strowman eliminates Cesaro. So Sheamus and Cesaro go out together. Then Braun Strowman eliminates Neville. Strowman and Zayn are the final 2. Zayn has Braun Strowman teetering over the rope. It looks like Braun's about to go over, but Braun, the big monster that he is, powers out and eliminates Sami Zayn. Team Raw is now Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Braun Strowman. Pretty good team. This match, kind of really didn't care about. Almost exactly from what the kickoff show yesterday, except with one person in and the other, it was a one-person switch. It was Rich Swann, Lindsay Dorado, Cedric Alexander versus Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and I don't remember his first name. They didn't get an entrance, and they only showed the card, like the name card, really quickly. So I only wrote Daivari. I don't know his first name. I know his last name's Daivari, so I only wrote that down because they only showed it really quick. And I tried to write their full names, but I couldn't write fast enough. The good guys won. Rich Swann picked up the pin. They pretty much swapped out Rich Swann for. They swapped out Sin Cara for Rich Swann. Charlotte comes out to talk about last night. She says she single-handedly made history and that Sasha made the stupidest decision of her life by getting off the stretcher, and she needs to realize that sometimes it's okay to lose. She says that she has been named the Raw team's women's captain for Survivor Series, and that she has already put Nikki away for months, and that she is determined to put her away for her career. And she says that her team is only as good as her weakest link, and she has a plan to train her weakest link. She brings out Bayley and says that she needs to train against one of her strongest teammates. Nia comes out, and that sets up a match between Nia and Bayley. Pretty fast match. It wasn't they didn't necessarily straight job Bayley out, but they kind of did. It wasn't like a squash match. Like, Bayley put up a type of fight, but Nia slammed Bayley for the win. This next match, I didn't get to see at all. I don't even know who they fought. It was a Cesaro-Sheamus match. I don't know who they fought at all. I don't know. I missed the entire segment somehow. I wasn't even gone that long. Like, I walked upstairs for a little bit, came back down, and the segment was completely over. Like, I walked back down, there was a haunted house segment with the Golden Truth. I don't know. So I don't know what happened. And then the main event, Roman Reigns and Chris Jericho for the United States Championship. During the beginning of the match, Owens throws Roman into the ring post. This is how the match ended, though. Superman punch, spear, 1, 2, Kevin Owens gets in the ring, and he attacks Roman Reigns. So Chris Jericho wins, but he wins by DQ. And then they start to double-team Roman, and Seth Rollins to the rescue. He throws Kevin Owens out of the ring. He goes to pedigree Chris Jericho. Kevin Owens actually stops Seth Rollins from pedigreeing him, and they scurry out of the arena. And then Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, they just stare down. It's kind of an awkward stare. They're not staring at each other to attack each other, They're not staring at each other to say thank you. They're just kind of staring at each other. And then it zooms in on Roman, and he's nodding, to say, yeah, I understand why you did that. And then the show ends. They're not friends, but I don't think they hate each other as much anymore. So maybe tag team action next. That was uncalled for. But maybe tag team action in the future between Jericho and Mini Shield. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. We got SmackDown, World Series Game 6. I'm going to be switching in between those two, so we'll see how well that goes. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Cam Cody, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles.